What's up, everybody? I'm Richard.
And I'm Shawn.
And we are speaking the language of bromance, and you, sir, need to perk up. I kept you up kind of late. You seem a little sleepy, but you're doing okay. You're doing good. I believe in you.
That's all right, Richard, because tonight's story is about a warning and a message that was sent to me from somebody important.
Somebody important?
Yeah, so Richard...
Was it me? Because I don't know if you know this, I'm kind of a big deal.
So, Richard, drunk people, right? They always seem to have the best information to give you, right? Like they tell the truth, right? What drunk person?
Oh my
lies?
God! Why? See, this is okay. So this is a problem I have with people that drink. This is one of the reasons why I don't go out near as much as I used to, because I feel like when people go out and drink, and I don't know why a majority of people do this, but a lot of people go out and drink, and when they're drinking, when they're drunk, then they feel like that is the perfect time to assess all of their life choices. like that is, I don't know what possesses them to do this, or what makes them think that this is a good idea. I think it's the equivalent of going on a vision quest.
Yeah,
you know, they say, "Oh, I'll just take a bunch of peyote and then I'll, transcend to a higher plane, and then I will find what I'm looking for in the world. I'll find my place. I will, find my center." But that's not what you're doing. You just, consumed a crap ton of vodka, and now this is when you're deciding to figure out where you are and what your place is in the world. And I'm sorry, that's not the time to do it. That's not the time to assess where you are in life, because I don't know.
Cindy's puking in the bathroom right now, and we got higher priorities than your failed podcast, Shawn. Listen, I didn't think we were going to bring this up, and I'm sorry I called you when I was drunk, but I needed somebody to talk to, and...
You didn't call, you drunk texted me.
Yeah.
You're like, I just don't understand why. I'm like, Shawn, your phone has autocorrect. Like, I feel like you're doing this on your phone has autocorrect. I feel like you're doing this on purpose now. Like
I've been sharing our podcast with everybody at the bar, and nobody's laughing.
Like, you're misspelling Y when you could just put the letter Y. I don't get what's happening. Go home, Shawn. Just go home and get some sleep, boo-boo.
But what they say, Richard, is that the people that tell the truth are drunk people, kids, and yoga pants. Those are the three things that tell the truth.
I could see 2 out of the 3 of those. I don't feel like drunk people are telling the truth. I feel like drunk people are they may be honest about their perception, but that's not necessarily the truth.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
There you go.
If somebody's
that's
drunk
insightful.
And you're like, what do you really think of me? Like, I think you're going to get more truthful answers than like if you're both sober.
I don't know. Maybe. I feel, in my experience, it seems better to, if it's, let's say it's somebody I don't like, it seems better to lie at that point when they're drinking, because you know that they're in a fragile and volatile emotional state. And so you lie so that way you don't exacerbate or create a situation that can go from 0 to 100 very quickly. But on that note, Shawn, I just want to say that I love you and I think you're the best.
Are you drinking again?
Maybe. What do you think of me?
So
you son of a bitch. You're just like my mom.
So Richard, I want to take us to Wyoming, where a drunk man was arrested by the police. So Monday night, Casper is the name of the cop, I believe.
Oh my God, like the friendly ghost?
Yeah, well, that's the city. It's authorities in Casper received a call.
The city's a friendly ghost?
Yeah.
Is the city full of friendly ghosts?
Maybe. It's a ghost town.
It's the friendliest haunted city in the country.
I only seen the movie.
They only wail from the hours of like noon to 2 p.m. because they don't want to, because they figure that's when people, it's like mowing your lawn. Like, you don't want to mow your lawn too early in the morning. Because people are
Sunday.
Exactly. People are sleeping. So you say to yourself, I'm gonna wait until like 10 a.m. I'll wait until 10 a.m. and that's when I'll start mowing the grass, because I don't want somebody walking out in their bathrobe and being like, motherfucker, it's Sunday. Like, I don't go to church. Look at me. Yeah. Do you think I go to church?
My wife and kids are at church. This is the only time I get to sleep in and jerk off.
I just wanted to like lay in my bed and jerk off and fantasize about a life that I'm not living. And then you want to start mowing the grass at 9 a.m.
And then I stress out because I'm like, shit, I haven't mowed the yard in 2 weeks. It looks like a fucking forest out here.
Yeah. Meanwhile, and then I look down and then I'm like, I haven't manscaped either in like 3 weeks. Maybe that's why my wife won't fuck me. That's probably why she's at church. She's probably hanging out with the guy that runs the youth group, and then they're going to go run off together. And then, you son of a bitch, this is all your fault.
Fuck you, Brad.
I'm taking my weed eater back. And stay away from my wife. Sorry, what were we talking about?
I'm still drunk from last night.
Do you love me? Brad, do you love me? Brad, what do you really think of me?
Here, I'll tell you what I think of you. I think you're a great guy.
Thanks. Thanks, Brad. You're the best.
I thought you have sex with my wife. I'm just saying.
I totally share. I mean, I think she'd be into it. In fact, I know she'd be into it. I'm slightly uncomfortable with it, but they say you should do it with a friend. And I feel like you're my friend. Are you my friend, Brad?
I mean, we've shared lawnmowers and weed eaters, so it's kind of the same thing, right?
Let's escalate. The next logical step.
She said she's not okay with me sleeping with your wife, and I was like, okay, I understand that.
You already have my leaf blower. You might as well take my cock blower, too.
But Richard, in the town of Casper in Wyoming, authorities were called to a visibly drunk man who they said is claiming to be from the future.
He's from the future?
He is from the future. He is from, Richard, the year 2048, and he was warning civilization about an imminent arrival of aliens.
Well, I don't think people would take him very seriously, being intoxicated and all.
I don't know. I think at any point somebody... I've never been in a situation where somebody said they're from the future. I'm kind of curious, like, first off, you're probably like, oh, you're crazy. But then when he, pulls out his floating skateboard. What the hell was those Back to the Future skateboards?
It was a hoverboard.
Yeah.
Oh my God. When was the last time you watched Back to the Future?
It's been years. It's probably been 15 years.
See, you need to go back. You need to go back and relive that moment.
Well, you know what? It's not really Back to the Future anymore. It's Back to the Past.
It is. It's yeah. It is Back to the Past, right? Or front to the future, front to the past.
How would you mind fuck?
What do you call it now? Well, because it's instead of Back to the Future, it'd be front to the past. Because you just because you reverse it. I don't fucking know.
That movie's like what?
I don't know. I'm fucking drunk. Don't.
Are you really?
No, I wish. I don't drink that much anymore. I think it's for that reason, because I'm not a fan of drinking when I'm at home. It's not that I won't do it. Drinking to me seems like a social activity. Like, I need to have people, a lot of people around me when I'm drunk. I either need to have people around me or I need to have something to do. Because when I drink, I usually get like really active. Mm-hmm. Like, I want to go do stuff. Let's go do stuff. La, 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 la. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why 90% of the time, 95% of the time, if I'm out, it's because I want to, sing karaoke or whatever. Usually it's that, because I need to occupy my brain while I'm drinking.
And how you do that is you make up stories about you being from the future.
Yes, this is actually me. This story is about me. We finally did it. We finally found a story in the news about one of us.
What were you doing in Wyoming? I think all the places.
It was a song I heard from the future. It was something about the buffalo roaming. I don't know. And so I looked up.
Aliens won't attack you in Wyoming.
Yeah, and so I looked up on my futuristic Wikipedia
Casper, Wyoming.
Right. So I looked in my future Wikipedia as to where the buffalo roamed, and apparently they roamed in Wyoming. And so I was going to travel back to 1817, but I was drunk, so I typed it in wrong, and I ended up in 2017.
You know, Wiki of the Future would be an awesome, like, if you could have, like, access to any potential site ever, Wiki of the Future would be the one I think would be pretty legit.
Like, well, I mean, technically you can do that now. Like, you have your phone, you can be like Wikipedia.
But it'd be wikis of the future, like things from the future.
Oh, I gotcha. So, like, if somebody was like, hey, this is Wikipedia, but this is Wikipedia from the year 2052.
Yeah, exactly. Winning lottery numbers for this day.
But at that point, what the fuck do you look up?
Yeah, it'd be the challenge because it'd be like Scooby-Dooing because you don't know what to look for.
Exactly. You have all this wealth of information, but you have no idea what do you look up winning lottery numbers?
Maybe. You could be like, am I famous in the future? Shawn from Language of Bromance. He was arrested in a drunken stupor in Casper, Wyoming. Well, I guess I'm going to Casper, Wyoming.
Yep. And now that you read it, now it has to happen. Now it's fact. That's the way time travel works. You read it, and so now it has to happen. If you never read it, then
at the end of Back to the Future, like he learns that his future is all his own. He can make it whatever he wants.
Oh, so you remember that part?
Yeah.
But you don't remember. But you don't remember what the fuck the skateboard was called.
I don't remember what the board that hovers was called.
Your selective memory about classic movies bothers me.
Sorry.
It's all right.
But so offers arrived to find Bryant Johnson, which I kind of feel like his name is definitely showing him from the future. It's Bryant. I don't know if that's is that how you typically spell Bryant?
I don't know. I don't think I've ever met anyone whose first name was Bryant.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe in 2048, that's the thing. Everybody named their kids after Kobe.
Because he was elected president. And he was the best president we ever had. He ends, he ends, creates, world peace, and,
everybody chants Kobe.
Yeah. Like he unifies North and South Korea, and it's all one country now, and he helps, invent the flying car, finally.
And you'd think it'd be dangerous because it's really like a bunch of mini planes, but no, it's like the safest ever.
Yeah, he helps discover cold fusion.
He builds that little jetway that Elon Musk wants to build from one side of the country to the other, where you get in, it's like 20 minutes to get across the world.
Yeah.
That'd be scary. Have you heard of that thing?
I've heard of it. Like, it's supposed to be like, New York to LA in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That would be
awesome.
Fucking insane. So that's, God, how fast would you have to go? So that's, what, 4,200 miles in 20 minutes. Do math. You can do it. I don't know. I've been drinking. No, I haven't.
It'd be like 8,000 miles an hour? 10,000 miles an hour? Something like that.
Something like that.
That's fast. It'd be like 12,000 miles an hour, I think.
That's fucking crazy.
Because what you do is you take 4,000 miles, it's 20, which is times 3, get you an hour. So you take that times the 4,000, get you 12.
Because the speed of sound is what, 750?
750,000 miles an hour?
No, 750 miles an hour. Speed of sound, 750 miles an hour.
Oh, I thought you said light. Maybe. I don't know.
No, speed of light's like 4,600 miles per second.
How messed up would that be if that was, because basically you'd be in New York and they'd be like, all right, you guys ready? Here we, boom! And 20 minutes when you get there, you hear like 5 minutes after you get there.
You probably it'd probably be like that scene in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 where they're jumping through all the different portals and like, you can't do 700 jumps, and their faces are all fucked up, and they have like
eyes bulging out.
Yeah, the googly eyes and whatnot.
I mean, it's kind of like, you remember like you don't remember, but unless you traveled back there and you're time traveling, but like the Oregon Trail, like it's like, oh my gosh, like you can get from New York to LA in 3 weeks via a train.
And you only have to eat like 2 of your kids.
The other one's going to die of scurvy, though.
Scurvy. That's why you got to hurry and get there, because you got to hurry and get to California so that way you can get your kid an orange.
But the officers arrived to find Bryant Johnson warning of aliens that would be coming in the next year and that people should leave as soon as possible, and claiming it was from the future. So what concerned him about his mission to save humanity is that he requested to speak to Richard, the president of the town.
The president of the town?
Yeah, so apparently in this future, Richard, the United States is broken up into numerous countries of towns where we have presidents per town.
Oh my God. How confusing would that be if like every town was its own country? Because think about that. Like everybody's got to come up with their own flag. Everybody's got to come up with their own song. And two towns are going to like, yeah. And two towns are going to like pick the same song. And they're going to be like, this is our song. And then the other town's going to be like that's how wars are going to start.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be like, no, we want, Dolly Parton's Jolene, and then the town across the river is going to be like, no, that's our fucking song. And then somebody shoots somebody, and then you got civil war over Dolly Parton.
Well, no, at that point, it's a foreign war.
Yeah, exactly. And then the town like 20 miles to the south is like, well, we like 9 to 5, and then both the towns are like, fuck you. No, we're a factory town. Well, we got the factory, so like 9 to 5, and stop shooting at us.
We're the one that makes the bullets. We're not giving you any more.
Working 9 to 5. What a way to make living.
Well, the thing too is you think like Springfield, like cities that are the same names. Now you have the country with the same name. Like one's got to be Springfield, one's got to be New Springfield.
Oh my God, you're totally right. There's all these towns that have the same name. They're just in different states. There's a Springfield, Missouri. There's a Springfield, Illinois. There's a Springfield, Massachusetts.
Yep. I think there's like 20 Springfields altogether. It's going to be the War of the Springfields.
Yeah. Well, see, they already had a War of the Springfields because they were. I remember at one point they were all fighting over which Springfield The Simpsons is based on.
I remember that. It was like for their 25th anniversary or something.
Yeah,
like that.
And they were like, "No, it's our town." And I'm like, like in the show, like the town's kind of fucked up. Like, why are you fighting over this?
Which town did it end up being?
Oh, fuck if I remember. But I think they stated, they're like, look, we just named the town. Like, it's not really based on any specific place.
I wonder what a presidential election in each town would be too. Like, that'd be stressful in itself.
Right? Like, and what if you want to move?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. You couldn't move real easily.
No, because you'd have to, like, get a passport. And is your passport good in the town across the river?
And if it's not, and they arrest you?
Yeah, and then maybe some towns that have to have tests. Be like, what's your favorite song? And then you're like, Jolene. And they're like, which? What do you mean, Jolene?
The remastered or the original version? Oh, damn it.
No, I work here. I just want to. Yeah, see what. Okay, so if tomorrow, if all of a sudden every town was like, hey, we're in another country, what about people that commute?
Oh, yeah, you get stuck.
Yeah, you would.
You'd be like trying to leave, and there'd be guards, be like, nope, you can't leave the country.
Or what if your girlfriend lived in the next town over?
Yeah,
then it's like well, Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, she's like, hey, don't worry, Greg, I'm going to stay with Brad tonight. You're like, good, because I can trust. Oh.
He's a damn Springfieldian.
And all those elections would be all like offset too. So it'd be like instead of every 2 to 4 years having an election, like there'd be one like every week.
Yeah.
It'd be like Mark McGrath is the new president of Springfield, Massachusetts. Every morning I wake up as the president of Springfield, Massachusetts.
He declares the new song is Fly. We all like Jolene, but he decided to go with Fly. I don't know. Now I can't put my finger as to the reason.
He said it was a tough choice between that and Fancy. But strange things have been afoot as of late in America's least populous state. So just a few weeks ago, I guess, in Crook County, Wyoming, which is about 200 miles from Casper, they had the first annual Devil's Tower UFO rendition.
Oh!
What the hell does that say?
Devil's Tower from Close Encounters. Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Oh, yeah. So they basically
Devil's Tower, where like the guy makes the pile out of mashed potatoes, and he's like, "This means something. This is important."
That's not the one where they get kidnapped, is it? No, okay.
No, it was also in that other movie, Paul. I think it was in there too.
Oh, that's the one with fuck, who's that? Who's in that? The dude's
Simon Pegg.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. I like that movie. I really like that movie.
I didn't see it.
Also had an alien in it, and alien smoked a lot of weed.
Did he smoke weed before he got here, or did we corrupt him?
Think a little column A, a little column B. Plus the bad person in it, like the evil villain in it, Sigourney Weaver.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
It was. Like she was a bitch in that movie.
She's like, say, "Smile, you son of a bitch."
Somebody else does, and then punches her in the face.
Nice,
right?
Did she say? What'd she say? Did she say, aliens?
Get away from her, you bitch.
Do they say so? That's what they say in Paul, not smile, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, you're thinking of Jaws.
Yeah, I knew it was bitch something.
That was a good movie. Fucking what's his name was in it? Shit. Jason Bateman. Jason Bateman's in that too. Seth Rogen's the voice of the alien.
That makes sense. He likes weed.
A great movie.
I'll have to watch it.
You should. What are we talking about? Time travel.
Time travel. So apparently they had this big convention to celebrate the 40th anniversary of Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yeah.
And they had a bunch of speakers from UFO investigations and whatnot there. And this doesn't go into a ton of details but the thing that strikes me is if you're
that's where the time traveler shows up. He shows up to warn about aliens near the anniversary spot of Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Is that a coincidence, Sean? Is it? I don't think so. I don't think that's a coincidence.
Nope. Couple things I don't believe in: coincidence and leprechauns.
Yep. And I'm on the fence about leprechauns.
But then on the western side of the state, so there's an earthquake swarm that's been rocking the Yellowstone National Park supervolcano since June. And this is all of this year of 2017. It is now one of the longest such swarms ever recorded. In a span of 3.5 months, over 2,500 earthquakes have been recorded, causing many to worry about an eruption of the supervolcano, which is another freaky-ass thing you have to worry about.
I was just going to say, the supervolcano at Yellowstone is one of those things that I put in a file drawer in my brain and then shut that drawer and then walked away from. And then you come along and you're like, open up the drawer. You're like, hey, what's in here? Oh, yeah, this thing that might potentially kill everybody.
I don't think it'll kill everybody.
Supervolcano.
I thought what I read or heard that, in that stretch of land, of course, everybody would die, but it would basically be like a nuke going off right there. So I don't think we'd have total, we wouldn't have a total nuclear winter, but we would have, I think, a year of where it'd be a little bit rougher. But I don't think everybody would die from it.
I don't know, Sean. I hear the words supervolcano, and I don't like the way that sounds. I'm sorry, I just don't.
You just like normal volcano?
I do.
Volcano?
Yeah. If somebody says, hey, a volcano's gonna go off, gonna blow up, 10,000 miles away, I'm like, oh, I hope the people that are around that volcano get to safety. But if somebody tells me that a supervolcano is gonna go off, my thought is, oh my God, what's gonna happen to me? See, here's the thing, Sean, and this pertains to any sort of disaster, be it natural or man-made. As long as the disaster isn't around my direct vicinity, then I try not to care about it.
Yeah, because you have enough to care about.
So in the event if the supervolcano goes off and lava shoots everywhere, as long as the lava doesn't reach, as long as the lava, if the lava, flows from Yellowstone National Park to a block from my house, then my thought is, well, it'll be fine. We shouldn't have to worry. But if you're telling me that the lava is going to go a block past my house, then I'm like, oh my God, this is a tragedy. We're all going to die.
Somebody has to do something.
Somebody has to do something about this because...
Quick, kids, pile up my podcast in front of the house. It'll save us all.
But hurry. At least it's on the internet. It'll be safe in the cloud. I'll start jamming chords into my brain. Be like, no, I'm going to upload myself.
Well,
it'll be fine.
That's why we live in the Midwest. Because if you live on the West Coast, you have to worry about earthquakes. If you live on the East Coast, you have to worry about hurricanes and tsunamis. And like us, we just have to worry about the occasional tornado and wildlife. There's not too much bad wildlife here. But everybody, Richard, has to worry about UFOs.
That's true.
So Bryant Johnson's coming back from 2048. So at this point, Richard, you and I are 62 in 2048. And we...
How old are we? Wait a minute.
I'm 62 at this point. That's
God,
31 years away.
That makes me older.
Wait, is it 31?
God, I'll be 66. I'll be like, I didn't even get to the cool age where I could be like, hey, I'm 69. Hey, hey, hey.
I can't do it because nothing works.
This is terrible.
But so like maybe at this point, Richard, you and I, because we have the world famous Language of Bromance podcast. You know, it's the #1 podcast in the country of Springfield, Massachusetts. Mark McGrath is like, this thing is fly. So it's gonna be our country's podcast.
He's totally gonna say it like that too. And then somebody's gonna be like, 1995 call, they want their slogan back, and we'll be like, shut the fuck up.
This is our time. We've waited almost 50 years for this. Every morning we wake up and we listen to the language of bromance.
Oh my God. See, now I have to find Mark McGrath and be like, will you write us the theme song?
But yeah, so we figure out that Mark McGrath isn't like, he still looks young and like hip. And we're like, okay, I don't understand why we're old. Cause last time I saw him, he looked like he was in pretty bad shape.
Mark McGrath?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know. I haven't seen him recently.
Like he was like super like on.
I'll tell you what though, like the two songs that he was known for, that Fly and the other one I can't think of. Yeah. Like those are kind of like mellowish songs, but if you listen to any of the other songs on the album, they're a little bit harder. Like I would say like those two songs, while they were his most popular, I would say were kind of the poppiest.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Out of both those albums.
I think, did they have a third album?
I have no idea. Oh.
But anyway, we see Mark McGrath like, hey, he looks like something doesn't seem right. And you and I like peek in, like, you know, we're like try and just do a little Scooby-Dooing.
Yeah.
And as we open the door, what do we see? We see that he's got like tentacles. And we see that Mark McGrath's actually an alien.
Yeah, and then he's like, soon we shall cover the earth. And they'll be like, no! And they'll be like, what was that? I'm like, shit! And then we run off.
Richie's going to be like, soon, all around the world, statues will crumble for me. Who knows how long I've loved you.
I'll be like, oh my God, it was a warning. this is 2042.
This
would be like 50 years. Yeah. 50 years he's been warning us. And now we finally know the truth. So we should have listened. We should have listened.
So you and I take off running, Richard. And we run and we find Bryant Johnson. I don't know how we know this guy. Maybe we just run into him. Maybe he had a time machine.
No, here's what happened. He had a time machine. Here's what happened. So we talk about this story now, and then we find him in the year 2052. See, because you can't break the timeline. This is what happens. This is what happens with shows, Shawn. And this is a dangerous thing you're introducing to our podcast. And the reason I say that is because time travel fucks everything up. Okay. You look at you look at a lot of TV shows like Stargate or The Flash to a degree. You know, once you start throwing once you chuck time travel in there, then it just fucks with the whole goddamn formula. My wife watches this stupid ass show on Stars called Outlander because it's like, you know, it's like this, like, you know, drama show, and there's this guy that wears a kilt, and it's like, he's a sexy man, and like, you know,
Jason Momoa in it.
No, it doesn't have Jason Momoa in it.
Do you you've seen Children of the Corn, right?
Yes.
Do you have to like stop yourself every time? It's like, hey, I want to watch Outlander, to be like, Outlander, we have your woman.
We have your woman. No, but that is the first thing I think of. Which is like, I want to watch Outlander, and I'm like, Outlander.
Outlander, maybe you don't hear so good.
But so anyway, so she watches the show. And she's like, this shit, like, she tells me, I don't think the show's kind of going downhill for me. And it's not really making a lot of sense because when this is happening, she could just do this. I'm like, it's because of fucking time travel. Because that's what the show's about is she's living in like the 1700 or 1800s or some nonsense like that. She touches a rock and then travels back to the 1600s where she meets this dude. And now she's traveling back and forth in time, and I'm like, that's how you fuck things up. You fuck things up with time travel. Yeah. And so, Shawn, this is a dangerous thing you're doing by introducing time travel into our podcast. So we have to be very careful to maintain the continuity of our show. So in order to do that, the guy, the time traveler, we're gonna meet him in the future, and we're gonna tell him that Mark McGrath is an alien covered in tentacles.
Because Mark McGrath just popped in my head. I don't know where it came from. Maybe that's why Mark McGrath, the alien, takes over his body to become president of Springfield, Massachusetts.
Oh my God. Why are we in Massachusetts?
That's the only one I could think of.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know if I like the East Coast or the Northeast.
Well, we probably went there for like a podcast conference. And then when the war happened, like we had to leave our wives here. And like we both got a phone call from Brad, and he's like, "Hey, don't worry, I'll take care of him." We're like, "Oh, thank God." Woo, I was worried. Oh,
damn it,
Brad! Did you plan this, you son of a bitch?
Oh,
that's pretty good though.
Yeah, touché, you got Brad. Us. You got us. Oh, should have saw it coming.
At least he has to pay for him, though. He has to take care of him, not us. Bitch, we're both single. Woohoo!
We did it! It finally happened. Wait, I hated being single.
Oh, and we're old too at this point. So it's like, who wants to marry us?
Yeah,
we'd have to probably marry each other, Richard.
Oh, yeah, that's where common law would come into effect. Be like, look, we've been together for quite some time. Plus, it's in Massachusetts, so we could totally do it.
Mark McGrath would be okay with it too.
He would. He's singing at the wedding.
Yeah, he would. What's he gonna sing, Richard?
He's gonna sing. He's gonna sing "Fly," and then we're gonna be like, "That's such a great song. It's not a warning about anything." That's what the thing I like about it is that it's so whimsical, and you don't really have to think about it. And then years later, he's gonna be talking on the phone and be like, "Oh my God, you totally have to think about it.
You gotta process it. The statues crumble. Aliens.
He's gonna take over the world."
So we're the official podcast of the country of Springfield, Massachusetts. And, Bryant Johnson, when he was a young lad, he listened to this episode, and he, like, his grandpa listened to this episode and, like, got this huge boner for time travel because he's like, I don't understand Outlanders either, and I got to figure this out. And so Bryant Johnson, this is really Bryant Johnson. That's what
he built. Jr. He's building a time machine because he wants to travel into the future and figure out how the show ends so that way the whole thing can make sense. Or at least watch the end so that way he can be like, this is fucking stupid. What? And that way he doesn't have to waste his time with watching the show up to that point.
That's smart.
Wouldn't that be great if you could just watch the finale and then that's how you decide whether or not...
Well, you could do that now. You could just not watch anything and wait. And when it comes out, watch the last episode.
Yeah, but who wants to do that? Would you do that?
It's probably cheaper than building a time machine. I mean, if I had a time machine, there's a lot of other things I would do.
Well, they say with time machines, I think from what I've heard is they say that it's more plausible for you to go back in time than it is to go forward in time.
Oh, really? I would think it'd be the opposite.
Or maybe it is the opposite.
Fuck,
I don't remember.
The past has already happened, so to get back there would seem more impossible than to...
Yeah, I think maybe that's... I don't fucking remember.
You're drunk. It's okay.
Shut up. What do you know?
I'm in the future by 40 minutes already.
What am I doing with my life?
What do you think of me, Richard?
Oh, God. I think you're a wonderful person. I don't know. I'm looking at the lyrics to Fly right now, and it's kind of scary. The whole thing is a portent of our doom.
Well, I mean, Fly, where are we flying to? They're flying us up to
Dance a little stranger, show me where you've been, because he's an alien.
Yep. Mark McGrath is an alien.
Love can make you hostage. Want to do it again? He's taking us hostage, Shawn. He's going to become mayor of Springfield, Massachusetts, and he's going to hold us hostage
because he's going to make us love him. He's going to be like, love me.
Yeah.
Love me as your president of Springfield, Massachusetts.
And then it's, oh my God, it's to serve man. The whole thing is to serve man.
For dinner?
Yeah.
Is this a menu?
No, it's that fucking shit. That Twilight Zone episode, To Serve Man. You ever see that?
Mm-mm.
Oh my God. One of the best Twilight Zone episodes ever. Aliens show up and they decide that, or they show up and they want to, they show up very peacefully and everything like that. And they have this book. They have this big book, and on the cover of the book, it says to serve man. And they say, this is our creed. This is our edict. And so throughout the whole episode, it talks about how the people of Earth are working together peacefully with this alien race, and that the aliens are setting up ways to transport people to their home planet to see what their home planet is like and stuff like that. And so everybody's trying to get tickets to get on a ship to go see the aliens' home planet. And then, so the episode is about this guy that is trying to get a ticket or whatever. At the end of the episode, he has the ticket, and then you find out To Serve Man is a cookbook.
Yeah, so Mark McGrath is trying to serve man to his food, his dinner, to his alien friends.
No, he's showing up like a cult leader. He's like, I just want to fly, put your arms around me, baby. He's trying to show up like the benevolent figure. Like, put your arms around me, everything will be okay. And then it turns out that you're putting your arms around an evil alien tentacle monster that's going to enslave you and then eventually eat you. Because it's a cookbook. The lyrics to Fly is a cookbook.
That's kind of, so I mean, that's an interesting thing. Like, if you basically, they build like the human, like, as the Earth as like a farm.
Yeah.
And you're just cattle. It's like, oh, we're working together peacefully. We're just going.
Yeah, like they're doing all this shit for the human race. Like they're doing all this nice stuff, and they're giving them all this stuff because the humans are thinking like, oh, they're saying to serve man. Like they think their job is to be our, to serve us. But it turns out To Serve Man is a cookbook. So fucking cookbook. Just like Sugar Ray.
I wonder if all of Sugar Ray's aliens are just maybe like each one of them's like a tentacle. Like it's like a worm. Like he cuts a tentacle off and becomes another member of the band. Because I don't know any other members' names besides Mark McGrath.
Yeah, I don't fucking know. It's probably Mark McGrath 1, 2, 3, and 4.
So Bryant Johnson's like grandpa right now is figuring all this out. So he's like nervous too. So he's building a time machine. Because he's like, oh, maybe it's a great idea. Maybe I need to name my kid Bryant Johnson. And so it's the year 2048. We've learned that Mark McGrath, you're 66, I'm 62. And like, oh, we got to find Bryant Johnson. Remember that podcast we did? And you're going to be like, huh? Like, remember that podcast we did? Huh? Who are you?
Bastard. Now I know what you really think of me.
I say, the way I get you back every time is I say, and I say we eat the beaver.
I'm like, oh, I'm here. What is it? You caught me in one of my lucid moments.
It's like the scene from the Notebook. Bitch. We have a moment. I get you back. Like, don't you remember? You're like, I remember when we podcasted. Remember Mark McGrath? Is that son of a bitch here?
Where is he?
I don't want to fly. Keep the statues. To serve man, no, not to serve Mark McGrath.
Just burst open into the mayor's office. It's a cookbook. The lyrics to Fly are a cookbook. Somebody find Bryant Johnson.
So this is this is like Terminator, Sarah Connor style.
Yeah.
So
that makes us. Wait a minute. Does that make us we're John Connor? So you and I are John Connor.
Yeah, to an extent.
And Bryant Johnson is the Terminator.
Or is he Sarah Connor?
No, he's Terminator.
No, you're right.
No, he's the Terminator. So we're gonna tell Bryant Johnson. We're gonna send Bryant Johnson back in time to warn everybody about Sugar Ray.
Yeah, so he's going to be like, okay, well, where do I have to go? And, for some reason, like, Mark McGrath's going to take me. Like, he's going to hold me captive. And I'll be like, tell them, Richard. And you're like, huh? Like, tell them podcast. You're like, huh? I'm like, Ethan. So then you can't come back. He's like, Richard, where do I go? And you're like, Casper, the friendly ghost, friendliest ghost in all the world. What year do I go to, Richard? And he just punches in 2017.
Yeah.
And he's like, Casper, Wyoming.
Yeah, he's like, I got it. I fucking got it.
It's like a ghost town. Nobody's there, just a bar.
Cop shows up. Sir, where are your clothes? And that's like a side effect of the time travel is you show up drunk.
Yeah, that's what I was
because
say.
like getting pulled through the space-time continuum, like it fucks with your head. And so you come out of it and you're drunk. And they're like, no, I have to warn people. It's a cookbook. The lyrics. Aliens. Sugar Ray.
President Aliens. Of the town. Every morning. Halo.
Podcasters. Sir, where are your clothes?
Eat the beaver. All right, tasing.
No. Richard and Shawn, I failed you.
I will avenge you, I swear.
Nobody believes me.
I wonder what Mark McGrath is doing nowadays.
Meanwhile, Sugar Ray laughs maniacally.
Oh, my plant. Yeah, well, no, that's the thing is that, so the aliens like listen to our podcast. So like this is beaming out to space, and these aliens are like, oh my gosh, I've never thought about eating humans, but I think that's a great idea. Who's this Mark McGrath guy?
Oh my God. And then 100 years later they come back, because it's that whole thing where they say that that our old radio signals and television signals they broadcast out, and so people that if hypothetically another civilization is far away, then if they have the right equipment, they could actually pick up radio signals. So like today on the other planet, they would pick up, radio and TV signals from like the 1960s.
Yeah. So like I Love Lucy.
Yeah. So it'd be I Love Lucy and Happy Days. Happy Days was the 60s, right? Yeah. They get to watch Batman.
Oh, yeah.
They get to watch Batman, like week-to-week Batman. Old Adam West Batman.
Yeah, then they get here really quick, like, where's Adam West? And it's like, oh. Thanks for making it sad, Mark McGrath, alien.
You son of a bitch.
Alien Mark McGrath's a dick.
And that's why he's like, no.
Yes.
If this world doesn't have Adam West, it doesn't deserve to live.
Oh shit, that's how it starts then. Yeah,
that's how it starts.
Like he gets here like the week after Adam West passed away. And that's what he does. And it's like, okay, that's it. So he takes and it looks like Mark McGrath just had an EP drop. So I don't know what the lyrics are there, but I'm sure they're all about eating people.
And how much he misses Adam West.
Yeah. I can't forget about the one that made me laugh when I was watching Batman. It's kind of like the Jurassic Park theme. You can almost sing anything to it.
Yeah, it kind of is.
I mean, I've made up like 4 songs with it, so.
Well, you're just witty and whimsical that way.
But yeah, so Bryant Johnson gets back. So now we've got alien Mark McGrath showing up on Earth about the same time that Bryant Johnson is in Casper, Wyoming.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. So alien Mark McGrath is in Springfield, Massachusetts. Now, how is Bryant Johnson going to get from Casper, Wyoming all the way over to Springfield, Massachusetts?
We're going to have to go find him.
We are.
Oh my God. And then we could totally have the line. So like he's in jail, and then we steal an armored car, and then we drive into the jail, And then he's like, oh, Jesus Christ. And then we open up the door and we're like, come with us if you want to live.
I figured it'd probably be better like we like drive in, we park, we walk in, we pay his bail, and we figure out what his hearing is, and he walks out, holding his clothes, and we're like, come with us if you want to fight Alien Mark McGrath.
Yes. I really don't know how the fuck we got Mark McGrath in there. But I'm rolling with it. I don't care. I'm rolling with it.
Well, I mean, sometimes divine intervention, Richard. Richard, I'm from the future.
I knew it. I always suspected.
I'm from the year 2015. It's 2017. Damn it. Typed in the number wrong. Do you guys have hot pockets you can microwave that don't get hot in the middle?
No. So there are some things in science that are still a mystery to us. Where's Mark McGrath? I probably doing the same thing he was doing in 2015.
Maybe he's touring. He was born in 68, so in 48, Mark McGrath is going to be 80 years old. So 80-year-old alien Mark McGrath is who we're going to have to fight in 2048.
That's fucking crazy.
I know. That's a dude that
he doesn't look that old. You know why? Because he doesn't age. You know why? Because he's a fucking alien.
Yep. See, it's all coming together.
Yeah, yeah. You know what, Sean? I think you had one of those lucid moments where, I don't know, you just pulled something from the ether and now dots are connecting and the whole thing's making sense.
Hey, Richard, did you want to do a podcast tonight?
I mean...
I don't remember what happened in the last 40 minutes. Oh, God, Sean, there's so much I need to catch you up on.
They got to you!
They fried your brain. Yeah, oh, shit. So, we're both going to forget what we just talked about tonight. We'll be like, oh, I guess we recorded something.
I think that's probably best that we forget everything we talked about. I think everybody is probably going to forget what we talked about.
Probably. Well, we got, Men in Black with the light.
Oh, yeah.
But then what's going to happen, Rich, is we're going to listen back to this in 10 years.
No, we're going to listen back to it in 2048.
Oh, good call. We're going back through our catalog.
Yeah, we're gonna be old and be like, remember when we did podcasts? Let's listen to them. Let's just listen to them all, and it'll be great. And then we get to this one, and then we're like, holy shit! This is 2048. The shit that's happening is actually kind of what's happening now.
Yeah, it was crazy when somebody said Mark McGrath is going to be the president of Springfield, Massachusetts, but it happened.
Huh? That's kind of crazy. I mean, who's the mayor of Casper, Wyoming right now? Oh my God, it's also Mark McGrath.
Oh shit, yeah, that's why he's cut communications. So President Mark McGrath is in every city, country.
City, country.
That's why he's starting out. So he did it big in the 2000s, so everybody can think of him. And then slowly he just he kind of got off the radar because then he started cutting himself up like a worm so that each new Mark McGraths can grow. And then 2048,
when everybody breaks into separate towns, and then it's people's hey, Mark McGrath's running for president of Casper, Wyoming, and people are like, yeah, I mean, Mark, he was all right.
But not at first, because what happens is
all the older people are like, yeah, I liked Fly. That was an okay song. He seems like a decent dude.
But Mark McGrath was the savior of the Reba McEntire wars of 2045.
Oh, yeah.
So he's a hero in all these cities because, we said Fancy, we said 9 to 5, we said Jolie. He brought us all together with Fly.
Wait a minute. Did you just attribute those songs to Reba McEntire?
Oh yeah, it's Dolly Parton. Sorry.
That's Dolly Parton. See, this right here. That's how wars start because of shit like that.
They're pretty similar.
You can't just throw that shit out willy-nilly. This is how we're gonna get shot because you're gonna be like, oh, that's good. That's Reba McEntire, right? And then we're dead. We're gonna be dead. We can't die, Sean. We have a message to get out.
We have a mission.
We have a mission. We have a message to deliver in the future for right now. Couldn't we just cut out the middleman and just deliver the message now? Don't trust Sugar Ray. That's my closing thought. Don't trust Sugar Ray.
Hold on.
I want you all to listen to me. Listen to me very carefully. There's a chance that Sugar Ray might be popular. Don't let it happen. Don't let it happen, folks. That's how it starts. Starts out, you're like, oh, he's not that bad a guy. Every morning, that was an okay song. Don't do it. Don't get sucked in, because that's how it starts. It's a cookbook. It's a cookbook.
Well, I'm looking up Ticketmaster right now, Richard. I'm getting us 2 tickets to the next Mark McGrath Sugar Ray concert. Be in the crowd.
Get off the stage! And we just stand in the crowd, be like, everybody, get out of here! Get out of here!
Mark McGrath is an alien! Everybody's like, I thought he was born in the States. Like, he's blonde-haired and blue-eyed. Like,
no, it's a ruse! Just climb up on stage, be like, let me show you who's really singing. Why won't the wig come off? Come on! Come on! It's really stuck on there. Damn these frosted tips.
Oh, it's awesome. So, Richard, do you have any closing thoughts then, or anything?
I think I just said it. Don't trust Mark McGrath. Don't get frosted tips because you don't want to look like Mark McGrath. That's, because once the war starts, I think any blonde guy with frosted tips is probably going to be firmly in humanity's crosshairs.
Well, I mean, probably instead of the Green Berets, you're going to have the frosted tips. That's going to be his special army.
Right? Great. Now I'm going to get attacked by Guy Fieri.
That's the guy over there.
I'm going to take him to fucking Flavortown with a bullet.
This one's a little extra crispy.
And I really don't know what happened. We were talking about time travel. What happened to the guy? What happened to Bryant?
Bryant is just arrested. This happened like 6 days ago, so he's still sitting in jail. It's like he's in Casper, Wyoming. So there's probably going to be a story in a week or two we're going to read that 2 guys broke him out. And we're going to be like, that's crazy. They have the same names as us.
Come with me if you want to live.
They just look a little old. Oh, God. Is that our logo?
We painted it on the side of the van, on the side of the truck.
We hear
any publicity is good publicity.
We hear that the Bryant Johnson was broken out of Casper, Wyoming by some group called the Lob Army. Lob Army? LOB Army. That's us.
Oh my God. And that's when our houses are broken into. And then we're shot with tranquilizer darts in the neck.
That's the resistance from 2048 is the Lob Army.
So I guess this is our finale. This is our last episode. This is how it ends. Because after this, we're going to be locked in a government facility. We're going to
Area 59.
Our next podcast is going to be from Guantanamo Bay. Great.
Sorry.
It's all your fault.
All right, Richard, let me do a little bit of housekeeping before all that happens. Visit our website. We're at languageofbromance.com. Follow us on Twitter at languageofbro. Email us at eatthebeaver@languageofbromance.com. Check out the LOB Army intelligence reports. There's going to be secret missions in there. Like us on Facebook and go out and recruit somebody for the LOB Army so that we can fight alien Mark McGrath. But you can do that by getting someone you know to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, or Stitcher.
And when you were there, be sure to leave a rating and a review because that is how we're going to communicate. That's how we're going to send messages back and forth in the future is we're going to do it through reviews on iTunes because nobody reads those.
No.
Except us. And that's going to be our power. That's going to be our strength.
And you can always check us out on the Pod Bros Network.
Because that's the Resistance network, the Resistance site, podcast site on the internet.
They're fighting Sugar Ray one podcast at a time. And if you want to buy some bonds in this futuristic war, go to our Patreon account and go to www.patreon.com/languageofbromance and you can throw some money in the tip jar over there.
Yeah. That way you can buy the paint that we're going to use to paint the side of this armored car.
All right, Richard, was there anything else before I close her out?
No, but there's a knock at the door. I'll be right back.
All right, well, that's all the bros we have for this show. I'm Shawn.
And I'm Richard.
Wait, Richard, don't open the door.
Oh,
and I say we eat the beaver. I eat the beaver.
I remember that.